everybody, and welcome to today's WWE Universe cast, where I'm going to be giving you my quick thoughts on the last night's event, which was Hell in the Cell. This is the annual October pay-per-view, and this was also the month we should have got WWE Network, but unfortunately WWE Network has been delayed in the UK, so we'll have to now wait until we get further confirmation from the WWE themselves of when we're going to get the launch of WWE Network. So the first match on the block here is obviously the kickoff match, which is between Mark Henry and Bo Dallas, and I think we get to believe, as Bo Dallas likes to refer himself, that he wanted to make himself known, and obviously he was unable to defeat the world's strongest man because we all know Mark Henry was unsuccessful for defeating Alexander Ruche. So he was taking on Bo Dallas. He was able to get his winning streak back, which is nice. And also you have Damien Mizdow. So basically Damien Sandow's called himself related to The Miz because obviously he's a fan of The Miz now. And he's got this weird attitude going on, which I think he's a bit bizarre at the moment. I don't seem to quite understand what Damien Sandow's game plan is, but we're just going to have to live with it for now. But getting on to the main matches here, obviously you've got the first of the title matches, which is a 2 out of 3 falls match, Intercontinental title match between Ziggler and Cesaro, who is one of Paul Heyman's guys, and I believe Paul Heyman was at ringside for this one because he hasn't been on ringside with Cesaro for some time because of, Brock Lesnar, and mind you, Lesnar is still, he's not scheduled until, well, I've heard different stories about Brock Lesnar right now. One of the rumors have been that he's going to possibly appear in December for the Tables, Ladders, and Chairs event, or he'll be around for the Royal Rumble where he'll defend the title. So either way, one of those two pay-per-views are meant to be when Brock Lesnar's meant to show up again with the title, and, we're going to have that world's title match, hopefully before the end of the year, hopefully. But Ziggler was able to score 2 pinfalls over Cesaro, so he was able to win straight away. So, yep, another successful title defense for Ziggler. And then you've got the Bellas explode. Yes, now, this is an interesting story because obviously the Bella twins had split up since SummerSlam when Nikki Bella caused Brie the match between Stephanie McMahon. And since then, they've never really had a pay-per-view match. So this is their first pay-per-view battle. And it turns out Nikki Bella was able to defeat her own sister, where now her sister, Brie, has to become Nikki's own personal assistant for 30 days, which I don't know how that's going to feel, but I bet it's going to be very interesting to see how, if Daniel Bryan does return in time for Survivor Series, it'll be interesting to see how Daniel Bryan sorts the situation out. Be very interesting. And then, of course, you've got Goldust and Stardust again with those tag team belts against the Usos. And as always, Goldust and Stardust never fail to perform wonderfully with those tag titles around their waist. So the brothers were able to defeat the Usos again for the second pay-per-view in a row. So could they be the tag team champions by the time we get to by the time we get to WrestleMania next year? Maybe. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll see Goldust and Stardust defending the titles at WrestleMania 31 in California next year. Should be a great event. In fact, I think you can still buy travel packs for WrestleMania 31. I'll put the link on there if you want to get your hands on the WrestleMania 31 travel packs, which they're currently selling for the next WrestleMania, which is taking place, like I said, in California. And obviously we've got a picture up here of the location that is going to be used for the 31st WrestleMania in March next year. And then obviously another match you may want to add is obviously you've got Sheamus versus The Miz. Sheamus was able to keep his US title against The Miz, so Sheamus is still US champ. He is a two-time champion, so he definitely earned it. Alexander Uche was able to overcome the Big Show, which I was quite amazed because I thought the Big Show was going to be able to beat him, and that could have been the end of his winning streak completely. But I guess Alexander Uche always finds a way against giants. So interesting battle there, and I'm quite amazed that he was able to overcome the Big Show. So there you have it. Then obviously you've got that so-called Divas title match, which we all know AJ has got this attitude like CM Punk has, because obviously she is CM Punk's girlfriend, wife, whatever you want to call it. In fact, I'm going to label it wife because they did get married recently. So obviously husband and wife now. AJ Lee, obviously, you can tell she's got elements of CM Punk in her matches recently, and she was able to overcome Paige. So AJ Lee is still Divas champion, proving the legacy of CM Punk with her own husband's legacy in WWE, which I think is awesome. And then you've got John Cena defeating Randy Orton inside Hell in the Cell, which means yet again we're going to see a rematch between Brock Lesnar and John Cena. The question is, when will that match take place? Is it going to be tables, ladders, and chairs in December in a table TLC match, or is it going to be in the Royal Rumble when these two are going to meet again? Well, we'll have to wait and see. But I reckon if they can try and get Lesnar down for tables, ladders, and chairs, I think December would be a good time to put an end to this John Cena Brock Lesnar story, because I mean they've had too many battles, and looking at Cena's face, their battles are really extreme. So I would say put it to an end in December, and then give someone else a shot at the WWE World's title at the Royal Rumble. Give someone new an opportunity, So hopefully that's what's going to happen in these next two pay-per-views we're going to have. We'll have to wait and see, guys. And then obviously the big main event, and I think this is the match that everybody's talking about, and that is the Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins. And yes, a lot of people have said how great this match was, the way this match played out. Obviously, Dean Ambrose was unlucky at the end in this match. He was unable to defeat Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins was able to overcome Dean Ambrose again. So, not lucky this time for Seth Rollins, but still, they had a fantastic match. I thought it was brilliant. But then the very last scene was so dark, it made you think for a minute, could The Undertaker be around? Now, funny thing is, there was no sign of The Undertaker in this pay-per-view, so I'm quite amazed not even a sign of the dead man came on. So my question is The Undertaker done with WWE now? Because if this could have been the perfect time for him to come back since that defeat and to make an impact, but some reason there's no sign of Undertaker this time. He's pretty much disappeared. Hopefully we'll get one more match from him from next WrestleMania, but if not, then he's had a great run, and hopefully we will remember the Undertaker as a Hall of Famer next year. If he's not taking part in any matches next year, he should be in the Hall of Fame in 2015, definitely. So we'll have to wait and see what they're going to do with the Undertaker for WrestleMania, whether they're going to give him one more match or whether they'll put him in the Hall of Fame. Either way, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting. So that's pretty much Hell in the Cell results. Now, obviously, the next pay-per-view, you can probably tell, is a very exciting pay-per-view. It is the... Hang on. Let me just sort this out. Right, and of course, you can probably guess that in 27 days from now, we're going to be witnessing Survivor Series 2014, which is taking place on the 51st birthday of Doctor Who, which is AK the 23rd of November. That's the day that Survivor Series this year will take place. Now, who knows what kind of Survivor Series matches we could be getting? Could it be a John Cena team versus Randy Orton team? Are we going to get a Dean Ambrose team versus a Seth Rollins team? Maybe Dean Ambrose versus the Authority? That would be an interesting battle. Either way, I'm very excited to see what they're going to do with this year's Survivor Series, despite the fact there's no Brock Lesnar for this Survivor Series as far as we can tell. But yes, it will return to St. Louis for the first time in 16 years. So Randy Orton will be in his hometown in the next pay-per-view. So obviously Orton has to get a big match for his hometown state for this year's Survivor Series. So make sure you look out for it. Survivor Series 2014. There are trailers out on YouTube if you want to check them out. They're pretty brief, really, nothing to get excited about, but I would assume we'll have the first Survivor Series match announced on Monday Night Raw tonight. Probably a Survivor Series match will probably be announced. So either way, it'll be interesting to see what the Authority will have to say. Well, Triple H and that will have to say about this year's Survivor Series, because you know what Triple H is like. He loves his Survivor Series matches, but he also loves title matches at Survivor Series. He loves everything about this pay-per-view. So maybe we're going to get something really cool for Survivor Series. I don't know, but the interesting thing is we're not that far off now, because after Survivor Series, on November 23rd, we're going to be having the Tables, Ladders, and Chairs, which takes place on December the 14th in Cleveland, Ohio, the home of The Miz. That'll be the 2014 Tables, Ladders, and Chairs, which is going to be really good. And then obviously after that, we're also going to get the Tribute to the Troops. Yes, this year's Tribute to the Troops is going to be a blast. I'm very confident that this year's Tribute to the Troops is going to be great. In fact, let me just double check, because I need to know what day Tribute to the Troops 2014 is going to be, so I can give you the official. Right, here we go. The official. In fact, I don't think they've given out an official date yet. But let's have a look. For some reason, they haven't given us a date. For some reason, I don't know why. I want to see if they've got an official date announced. Oh, here we go. Yes, they've announced it. The 2014 Tribute to the Troops is taking place on. There we go. 27th of December. So there you go. So it'll be airing on the 27th of December. It takes place in Florida Georgia Line, and it'll be taped on the 14th of December. So there you have it. That's what's happening with Tribute to the Troops. So it goes out on the 27th of December, which means on that day, I'll try and get a WWE Universe cast to talk about this year's Tribute to the Troops. It'll be our Christmas special for the show that day. So that's when we'll celebrate Christmas with WWE, as well as, paying tribute to the Troops 2014. So we'll go through all the matches that day, as well as, sharing if we got any WWE gifts. I might show off my WWE 2K15 PS4 case, etc. And maybe some gameplay on, just in case you want to see some of my gameplay with Michael Shannon and that from the game. because obviously he's going to get it on launch. He might upload some gameplay on here. I'm not too sure. I'll see if we can try and get some on here. But yeah, so that's basically what's happening with the tribute to the troops this year. Date was announced just recently, so I'm glad that they've given us a date, and it'll be airing at 8 p.m. Eastern time on the 27th of December. So make sure you look out for it. It's going to be very, very exciting. Exciting show, actually. I think people are going to enjoy it. But that's really it, guys, as far as this WWE Universe cast is. And, not long, guys, not long till Christmas 2014. We're going to be about 8 weeks away until the big day, Christmas 2014. So not that far off, actually. So I can't wait. That's all I've got to say for this WWE Hell in a Cell 2014 results show. Hopefully I'll get some, I might try and invite some people for the Survivor Series one. The reason why I'm getting through this so I can get set for the, Horror Harmony and stuff, because tonight, well, hopefully in a little bit, well, later on today, we'll be hopefully doing a review on The Walking Dead Episode 3, Four Walls and a Roof, which I can't wait to. Well, actually, it's Mr. Pumpkin who's going to be reviewing that, so looking forward to that. As well as that, we're also going to be having some other goodies coming along. But that's really it, guys. So take care.